I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Bure's Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top shelf liquor to crowd favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Bure's Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Welcome to On the Block, E. Strick. It is October the 4th. Can you believe that, Nick?
Man, it's quick.
It's so quick how the year, I mean, it's like we went through that dead zone of, sports are just kind of blah, blah. We had some good news and some things to talk about, some great topics, but at the end of the day, another year is just
zooming on
by, man.
Yeah.
But
well,
we will.
You want to feel like this season has gone quick. We're already after this weekend of football, halfway through the year. Halfway through the year. Now, and Bill Bush was talking about this earlier today on early break. He was like, "Hey, you know what an expanded playoff does? It makes the season last longer,
a little longer."
Right? And so, at the end of the day, next year in 2024, obviously they're going to be expanding the playoffs to 12 teams. Which I've seen those hypothetical 12-team playoffs coming out. Have you seen those graphics flirting through social media?
No.
where it's like matching up. It's going to be like, it'd be like if it was the 12-team playoff this year, Michigan would be playing Alabama, and you'd have like Alabama, Washington, USC. You'd have all these teams in this playoff that darn well, like for, I don't know, a Notre Dame in this situation is the perfect example, because Notre Dame, they lose the heartbreaker at home to Ohio State, but they still have a couple really interesting games on their schedule against the Clemsons, against the USCs, against some other top of the line teams that
they can raise their profile. Exactly.
They're not out of it. Like they're sitting there on the edge. I think they're ranked 11th or something like that. And so technically would be in, but if they get one more win, they somewhat solidify it. So it gives them an opportunity to say, in that instance where if they lose because Ohio State was able to push it in from the 1 yard line or whatever the case is, then, hey, you're not out of it completely. You still, I don't want to say have something to play for, because you always will, but you have something truly meaningful on a national conversation level to have something to play for.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, once again, you're tuned into On the Block 2 to 4 each and every day right here. All streaming platforms, Facebook, Twitch, YouTube, and X, as well as our VIP line, which is sponsored by Allo. The VIP line brought to you by Allo Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We're thankful for them, as well as our wonderful sponsor, Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul, who will be here mañana.
Oh, I'm so excited.
So it is
tomorrow.
A wonderful thing for you guys to just come on down, and it is the grand opening. I mean, we have been in the building now for over a month, so
ribbon cutting and all.
Yeah, we're gonna have the grand opening. It's gonna be a beautiful thing. Hopefully the weather will be cooperative and it would not be shady, cloudy, or rainy. But we're appreciative to all of you who are listening, as well as you guys can also answer questions. You can also jump on the Sutter Heyman text line. We're thankful to Sutter Heyman Jewelers as well, 402-464-5685. And the Honda of Lincoln hotline if you desire to call in and get on a show. So listen, we're talking about, just how the seasons have gone by, how fast. It's gonna provide a lot of interest. It's going to also, let me ask this question. Is it going to provide better scheduling? Because you're not gonna overly be caring about, if it's a good team and that team can give you the points by taking on that loss. Do you see the scheduling getting better, or do you just think people are going to rely on their conferences and just to allow the strength of the conference to take them through?
Well, I think we're trending towards a situation to where there's no more non-con. So with that in mind, that's why we see conferences boosting themselves as much as possible here, like the Big Ten did, right? The Oregon, the Washington, the USC, UCLA, because if the Big Ten ever does go to a conference-only format, and it's only going to take one conference to do so, and then all the other conferences are going to follow suit. So it's either going to be the Big Ten or the SEC that decides to break away from non-cons and go completely conference-only. You're not going to see the non-conference matchups, the marquee matchups. You're not going to have the Texas USCs. You're not going to have
the Red River.
Yeah, exactly. This weekend is the last Red River showdown in the Big 12 conference, right? Then next year, they'll move to the SEC. So it's going to be interesting, though, as we go forward, because you're not going to have to, if you're a team in a weaker conference, front load your schedule. And this is for all sports in the non-con. The non-con scheduling is going to be less significant, I think, because you're going to just have this idea of, well, in November, it's what have you done for me lately, as we know? Well, in November, and teams get picked in December, you're going to say, well, what did they do the last 4 weeks of the season? Well, they beat 3 top 25 teams, and they beat an unranked team by 10. Okay, they deserve to be in.
Yeah.
It's not having to go back to, all right, what did they do in August? What did they do in September? And how is that kind of matched up to how they're playing right now? A lot of people might not want to think that that's the conversations that are had, but I think at the end of the day, it's a what have you done for me lately type of world and selection committee. And we've seen that kind of creep into some of their decisions that they've made on who that number 4 team has been over the last couple of years.
Absolutely. Well, we're talking about how the year has flown by, also what the extension of the playoff would do for college football. But also, let's talk real quickly, because this could also affect before we go to break, just to throw it out there because it's newsworthy. The NCAA is shortening their transfer portal windows from 60 days to 45 days, which would give you 30 days right after, depending. If you go to a playoff, you get an extra 5-day extension in January, such and such. But otherwise, you get that 30 days right after the season is over, as well as an extra 15 days in the spring. Mm-hmm. But in basketball, you would get just the 45 days as soon as the selection committee jumps in and starts making their bidding.
Which I don't know if there are cons to this, right? Like I don't know. I'm sure we'll figure some out towards the end. I'm not sure if there's anything but from this initial thought, anything but pros. Like I think it's a good thing that now staffs across the country, both in NIL collectives and with coaching staffs, are going to have to be on top of their game from the get-go. They're going to have all of their things organized, all of their pitches, all of their schedules, the contacts, all of it buttoned up and executed well from the get-go, because now it's just only a month of time before or I should say, instead of a month and a half like it used to be. Well,
and then there's also something to consider, being that I've also been a coach at the collegiate level, work-life balance in some ways, because I mean, coaches have been overextended in a way. Now they're being paid for it though, but they've been overextended in a way because in the past you had to recruit outside. Mm-hmm. You didn't have to always recruit internally. You had to take care of your players, let them know that you cared about them, and made sure, because it was a difficult process to get out and go somewhere. You'd want to sit out and redshirt and do all of that stuff, right? Now with transfer portal and NILs, you have to recruit year round. Like you're recruiting your players that you have, as well as the players that are outside.
Well, and if you talk to coaches, they'll say that it's a 365, 24/7 kind of job.
Yeah. And so now I look at it from a standpoint of how long that extended period, an extra 60 days, 2 months. Now you're looking at having to still be engaged. And I think getting that process done, knowing what your rosters are going to look like in a sense, and then giving you a little time to just decompress from a season, and then before you kind of transfer your mind into the summer or transfer your mind into the winter of getting ready for the upcoming season.
Yeah, and I think across on the lines of that whole allowing you to decompress in the 365-day a year job and such, while they are getting compensated for it, like it's an eat or be eaten type of world. And now I think we're going to see that, and maybe this is unfortunate to a greater extent, because the time period for recruits and guys that transfer, guys or girls, that transfer and want to go somewhere else, it's going to be heat of the moment. Hey, let's move a little quicker here. All right, let's get a little quicker because you only have 30 days now. And so, for example, after the national championship game in basketball next year, they're going to have 30 days from the day after the championship to make a decision. And so when you talk about signing periods and you talk about recruiting periods on when and contact periods with coaches and with recruits, those all play a factor. When you look at football, the 45-day window is going to be quite a bit different and beneficial for coaches, because it's going to close, and then they'll be able to have early signing period, and then they'll be able to see their roster makeup. There's not going to be any late season transfers late off season transfers that could be detrimental to your program.
Or to another kid that can't go anywhere now.
Exactly. And you look at like a Michigan State's a good example. Auburn was an okay example where they had Peyton Thorne go in the last moment. And now, granted, Noah Kim has been a pretty good backup for Michigan State, but it's still a starting quarterback moving on from the program in the last moment when you expected all offseason, hey, that we're going to have this guy, right? I mean, imagine if Nebraska wouldn't have gotten Jeff Sims, but Casey Thompson still left when he did. We're all sitting here going, well, crap, I would have liked to know that. So either I can go out late in the transfer portal and recruit what's left, or I can focus on developing the guys that are going to be here. Well, now you might be able to have that with a little bit more notice ahead of like an early signing day period where you can swoop in on a guy kind of late in the process and figure something out. So I think it's beneficial for coaches especially, and even players, because it's going to force them to kind of, hey, let's figure this out quicker rather than later.
Yeah. Slow playing it. Yeah. We're going to have to take a break real quick. No Evan Bland today. He has some stuff to take care of, but we're going to talk about the Lisa Bluder situation over at Iowa, because I think it's an interesting discussion. Is this something that's kind of tailored towards the women's side of things, or is it also something to think about on the men's side of things? Yeah. And how does that translate in the mind of a young player? Does that hinder or hurt you in your recruiting efforts? Those are things we're going to talk about, and we would love to hear from you as well. Sauter Heyman text line again is 402-464-5685. We'll come back, talk about Lisa Bluder right after this. 937 The Ticket at ticketfm.com.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
College football in Lincoln, America. The time has come. Start your game day off right with the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the ticket crew as they bring you all the coverage you need to get you ready for the action. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show, powered by Sunbelt Rentals. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group of BHHS Ambassador, Select Plumbing, Jimmy John's, Lincoln Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Fleet Feet, Bure's Cheese Spread on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hello, this is Mary Pat Waite. I've had the privilege of working with Lincoln families as their realtor for more than 31 years, and I'm so proud to be associated with MP Dodge Real Estate. For me, your transaction is unique in its own way. My experience allows me to bring you trusted care and a really great outcome. My NP Dodge family shares the same client focus.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
Experience the Landmark difference with the next level of dealer support. Landmark, your local John Deere dealer, continually works to have parts on hand the first time you walk in the door. Our internal route system means we can get the parts to you typically same or next day to keep you up and running. At Landmark, we understand time is money. Get more uptime with our after-hours parts and service support on the phone or in the field. Our sales, precision ag, parts, and service teams are ready to serve you this planning season. Stop by your local Landmark today to experience the Landmark difference.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new Complete Post-Workout Recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Checking back in on the block, Strick and Nick. This Stricky and Nicky show for Wednesdays is where you will find us here. We work together, as well as, like I said, my partner, Austin Norman, is going to be having a little baby Herbie.
There it is.
And, well, we don't
know the name. We don't know.
We're just projecting.
We're hoping it's
throwing
Herbie
it out there.
Hey, so Strick,
talk to me.
Before,
you got an NIL going on?
Before we dive into what we were going to talk about there with collegiate athletics, another collegiate athletic news, or excuse me, yeah. Why am I forgetting the man? My brain is all over the place today.
You need more Joe.
I need more coffee. I already drank this real quick. Here we go. Utah, the Utah Utes. And comes from Ross Dellinger. I believe he's still with Yahoo. Yes, he is. In one of the most lucrative team deals in the 27-month history of NIL, Utah's Crimson Collective are leasing each scholarship football player a new Dodge Ram truck.
Wow.
A $6 million value. Leases are 6 months long and are voided if a player transfers or if their eligibility expires.
So during the football season,
in
the winter,
every single scholarship football player for the
while they're basically in school
for the University of Utah, it gets a new Dodge Ram truck.
Wow.
A $6 million value. Everybody's going to be driving the same truck.
Well, okay. Let me throw this out here. Okay. Allegedly.
Yeah.
First and foremost. One of the things, because I used to be in the car business some time ago, I was at an Acura dealership and doing some managerial training there. And driving around different lots, Nick.
Yeah.
One thing I found is that over time, especially once the gas prices started to go, one of the things that I saw on lots more than anything were trucks.
Yeah.
Okay. That's one thing. So, and I'm not trying to knock it. I think it's a good deal.
Yeah.
Kudos to them. Great NIL. But those trucks, when they sit on the lot, are less valuable to them because they're paying the insurance, they're paying for the space.
Of course.
They have new inventory coming in. So to put those out there into space and have them rolling, it gets it off of their hands.
And it's great advertisement.
It really is.
It's
especially for recruitment.
Yeah.
And all kinds of stuff.
So once again, every scholarship player on the Utah football team gets a brand new Dodge Ram truck for 6 months.
And then just so basically, if you're visiting the stadium, if you're touring the facilities, If you're just stopping in and driving by and just want to see what Utah Utes athletics looks like, you're just going to see a big block of trucks.
They're all going to be doing the same exact truck.
They're going to be sitting there.
But once again, like this is kind of building off of the conversation with the transfer portal and the NIL collectives. Like, I don't know if we'll see this at Nebraska, and maybe not to this extent, and maybe that's a good thing. That I don't know how active Nebraska's collectives are in team deals and things like that. I don't know if they're a fan of team deals. And this is not like a shot at the collectives or anything. You don't really hear a whole lot about what they are doing. And it's kind of interesting in a way because this is supposed to be the way Nebraska can get more talent. And sometimes we always hear Nebraska's top 5, Nebraska's top 10. Nebraska has plenty of NIL money. We know Nebraska has the fan support, the resources, the donors. I think we're not getting a whole lot of transparency, though, on what the situation is like.
Nick, what do you think the ROI or the return on investment has been for the NIL and the collectives?
Well, exactly. And that's the toughest part, is because you're hearing people say, this guy owes us money back. This guy, that's part of it, I think. But we've also entered this area to where it's now pay for play instead of NIL. It's now pay for play instead of NIL.
I think at times when I look at Nebraska as a program, I think when I consider where we're trying to go, where we would like to go across all sports, I look at us and I think we sometimes get complacent and lost in the brand. And you think the brand is the thing that, is going to win it over the day. But at the end of the day, some people are just saying, this NIL deal was better here. This opportunity is better here. There's more visibility here. I mean, like say what you will about this, right? And again, I don't want everybody to think that I'm just talking. It's factual news, right? I happen to just be, going through my socials and I got a glimpse of doggone the viewerships on the top rated games of the year. And it's like freaking Colorado's on there 5 of them.
It is. They are. Yeah.
Now I'm not harping on that. I'm just saying those types of things in today's landscape of recruiting, that means something.
Well, it matters.
When you're talking about visibility, you're talking about opportunities, you're talking about, because guess what's always won the day? Let's just take football out of it. Let me just take them out of it. What's always won the day in sports or in TV is who's viewing.
Yeah.
So if this type of viewerships are going on, it creates an opportunity because those people from Chick-fil-A or those people from Cane's or those, they're like, wait a minute, there's a lot of eyes over here. Let me get one of these players over here.
And that's the thing is with social media nowadays, and this is a positive thing, right? This is a positive with the ability for players to then post on social media, hey, this is the brand I'm sponsoring now, right?
Yeah.
It creeps into the broadcasts. You find that out as it creeps into the conversations when all those people are watching.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to. It's not supposed to be involved in specifically their sport, but it is, right? And that's where you cross maybe that fine line of pay to play and things like that. Now, you can also add, it's important now for the Big Ten Conference with markets that they're adding, the markets of USC, the markets of UCLA, the California market, the West Coast. They're going to allow much more eyeballs on the product now.
And the times are going to help them too.
Whether USC's playing, whether Nebraska's playing, or whether Penn State's playing.
Yeah.
Right. And so a big part of Colorado and why there's so many eyeballs on them is because they've figured out ways to get into the news. They've figured out ways to get publicity. And it's not like they haven't played anybody, like nobodies. They've played Nebraska, which is a good brand. They played USC. They've played, they have the rivalry game. They've played Oregon. They've played notable teams.
Yeah.
And then they've also been able to double up on that with their publicity. And that's all increasing the value. Now, I will say, when we talk about NIL, I don't know. I go back and forth on the Caleb Williams situation. And I know we weren't going to get in this, but still. the Caleb Williams situation as to where he might return simply because he's getting paid just that much in NIL.
Right.
I mean, you want to talk about a signing bonus. I'm not sure if him saying that he's getting paid more than he would make in the league is including signing bonus. He hasn't come out and said yes or no on that. Signing bonuses are 24, 28 million for the number 1 overall pick. And so to come out and say, yeah, you know what, I'm making just as much or close to that amount for NIL in college. What brands are you sponsoring?
Right.
How many are you sponsoring?
Right.
Are you focusing on, like, all of those questions come into play, where now it's, as somebody said on the text line, it's just high paying minor leagues. And that's what it somewhat feels like, because Caleb Williams, and hey, you do you, young man, you go ahead and get paid $20 million to be in college and to be endorsing that products, right? Mm-hmm. Because it's basically professional football when you're getting paid that much.
Basically.
It is.
Yeah.
It's just not tied to that organization or program that's where your checks are coming
basically from. I mean, listen, we can delve into this. We can dig into this. Absolutely. We hear some of you guys on the text line. Some of you, unnamed texter 9375 says, NIL has gone way too far. The intent was to pay athletes for money the schools and companies are making off of them. Now it's just high paying. That's what you just
leagues,
said.
Yeah.
Signing bonus. Tommy says signing bonus is a bit misleading. Signing bonus money is from your contract up front. The NIL money is likely more lucrative because it is not stuffed. Yep. So there's some pros and cons to it. Real quick, let's just tap in real quick on Lisa Bluter's situation. We'll start the conversation. Yeah. We'll carry it over, and then we'll use it also in the discussion with Randy Gregory, and we'll just do a double tie on that. But we don't want to waste time, and because I definitely think it's a noteworthy conversation. Yeah. Lisa Bluter, break it down for me, kind of the context of what was said, because I don't want to miss the context.
So we know that Iowa's having that outdoor women's basketball game here in a couple months. I think it might be even this month. And all Big Ten conference teams in women's basketball came out earlier today. I do as well.
Because try to shoot with a windy day outside.
In a football stadium where it's going to be swirling. So Lisa Bluter, the Iowa head coach, Iowa, by the way, in the national championship last year, they lost to LSU in the national title game in 2022. Well, or I should say 2023, excuse me. But now in this press conference, a lot of discussion around Caitlin Clark. A lot of people know Caitlin Clark, obviously a heck of a basketball player for the Iowa Hawkeyes and future WNBA player as well. Lisa Bluter said this. She was asked the question. This was the question. I want to read it verbatim just so we have the full context. The question was, I know Caitlin Clark has the ball in her hands a lot, but are you looking at maybe taking advantage of the mismatches at times because of her height? Is that something you feel like you can do? That was the question. Lisa Bluter replies with this, quote, yeah, last year I tried that and it didn't go so well, but now in practice, she's trying to do it herself a little bit, so maybe it's coming back to her. But that is an area where I think she could at the next level. And I'm not preparing her for the next level because that's not my job, especially number 1. But she won't be able to do that at the next level either. She's trying to do it now, and she knows she can get to the free throw line that way too. Talking about mismatches, being able to maybe draw fouls and get to the charity stripe. But once again, Lisa Bluter said this, at the next level, I'm not preparing her for the next level because that's not my job, especially number 1.
That's the topic of discussion. When we come back, we're going to get a little bit into that and just, give a little bit of banter, hear from you as well on the text line, get your thoughts on that, because that's very interesting, that statement alone, just that little piece. We didn't want to parse it out. We wanted to make sure you heard the full context of the of what was stated. So we'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket. You're on the block. We'll be right back.
Integrated Life Choices has been inspiring opportunities for individuals with disabilities for more than 15 years in Lincoln and across Nebraska by offering a number of services. From group homes to independent living resources and job training, you'll find the support that allows people to live fulfilling lives. They're also hiring. If you're looking for a rewarding career supporting people with developmental disabilities, you can check out open positions along with learning more about services at ilc.net. Integrated Life Choices.
Are you tired of living in pain? It's time to take control. At Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, we're your one-stop shop for expert care in Lincoln. From broken bones to complex reconstruction, our skilled team will help you get back on track. Visit prairieortho.com today and discover why we're the trusted choice for thousands of patients. Don't let pain hold you back. Take the first step towards a better, pain-free life with Prairie Orthopedic and Plastic Surgery, where healing begins. Call 402-489-4700.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Power combo BOGO? Huh?
Yes, if you purchase an air conditioner, you receive a furnace completely free. At John Henry's, our professionals want to ensure you are comfortable in your home all year long, no matter what Nebraska has to throw at us. Call today to schedule your free estimate and learn more about the free furnace waiting for you. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
And electrical.
Drink locally and support local businesses during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 2nd through the 8th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
Getting experience to jumpstart a meaningful career can be difficult, and education can cost a fortune. Luckily, AmeriCorps can be the solution. With AmeriCorps, you'll earn a stipend and education award while helping people. Plus, you'll gain professional skills and make connections to help you build your career. If you're ready to start a career you can be proud of, visit serve.nebraska.gov/service to find a program for you. Paid for by Serve Nebraska, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is now open in Lincoln. Shop our expansive collection of wine, beer, spirits, and cigars at 5040 North 27th Street. From top-shelf liquor to crowd-favorite beer, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits has a beverage for every taste and every budget. Plus, join our loyalty program to earn rewards and save on future purchases. Shop Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits at 5040 North 27th Street in Lincoln. That's 5040 North 27th Street.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career, or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
An entire week of celebrating Lincoln's Craft Brewers is just around the corner. October 2nd through the 8th is Lincoln Craft Beer Week. Head to lincoln.org/beer-week for a complete schedule of events at your favorite local establishments. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies along with a light breeze. We'll see an afternoon high of around 73. Tonight, mostly clear skies and calm winds. Overnight low should be around 51. And tomorrow, more sunshine with a light breeze. Pretty similar day with a high of around 73. Meteorologist Kyle Tucker for 93.7 Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're back on the block. E. Strick here and Nick Sandert joining me as my partner on Wednesdays from now on. This is not, a trickery. This
thing.
Isn't a, just a drop in. Yeah, not a one-off. It is something that's going to be continuous throughout the rest of the year,
yep.
and as well as when Austin has baby Herbie. So, we're going to
Baby Herbie, I love it.
We're going to continue on in the discussion before we left on the last break, and that discussion dealing with Lisa Bluter, having conversations with the media and talking about her job is not to basically get Caitlin Clark or any of them to the next level.
I was a little thrown off by that because with the question, it was a weird interjection to have and a weird answer. I think because that quote of my job, it's not my job to get players ready for the next level, wasn't necessarily part of the question. The WNBA was not part of the question. So it was interesting that she
even
put that in there on her own. Now, with it being said, I think it's interesting because we get so lost in collegiate athletes, and are they even collegiate athletes anymore? Are they student athletes? Are they getting paid to play? Are they having personal trainers outside the sport? You hear more and more about that to where there are personal trainers outside of the season, right? To where they're working on their own and working with somebody privately. And so here's what I would say just before I get your opinion, Strick. If you do one, the winning's going, if you develop, the winning is going to come. And if you win, that means you're doing a good job of developing your players. I think they're intertwined to a certain extent here.
Okay. I would also say that in preparation for the next level. Now, let me just take a couple texts before I really get into my conversation. Cigar Guy says this, and this is something that Rico basically said, and it's understandable. And this is why I do understand what you're saying, but there's nuance to it. There's gray to it that
I agree
that all coincides and help it all work together to the benefit of the university, you as a coach, and
their players,
and the next level. So he says, Cigar Guy, I love you, my guy, because I am one of them. Padron, 1926. But anyway, at the absolute base level, a college coach is to a college coach's job is to win games. Preparing their players for the next level is a byproduct of that. She could have worded it better, basically, is what he was saying. And I would have to agree with that comment. Now, here's the thing. It does help when you put guys into the league, whether it be football, whether it be basketball. And so this is why I think this possible that the girls' side, the women's side of this conversation could change the dynamic a little bit. And here's why. Because most of the women, i.e., what's my girl down in LSU, that won the
Angel Reese.
Angel Reese, okay, went to Maryland. Yep. Okay, so Angel Reese basically says, "I'm not leaving. I'm staying right here." I mean, and why is that? We all know why. She's making more NIL dollars than she is if she went to play in the WNBA.
It's funny. We try to escape this NIL conversation. It always comes back. And it's not our fault.
Yeah.
It's not the collegiate athlete's fault. It's just the way it is now. But go ahead.
So, and then the also at LSU, the gymnastics girl, Livy Dunn. She's making more than she would even make if she went to the freaking Olympics, right? So why would she want to go and do that and go pro or go whatever and kill her opportunity to be at so I understand it for the women's side of things, but the thing is, it is a totally different discussion when you go in, and I think you're right, because I think guys are doing stuff kind of on their own. I mean, it's different from my age because I believe that it was preparation for us to get through. So sometimes guys ran sets that were very pro ish to help you to be able to see pick and rolls and to do different things in a different way.
It feels like at times collegiate athletics, especially on the guys side of things, has become individualized, if that makes sense, to where it's focused on one person, and I'm going to focus on myself, you focus on you, they focus on them, right? Because it's how can I get to the league? How can you get to the league? How can they get to, like, it's I'm going to do what's best for me. I'm going to play at a place that I think I can really, perform at a high level at, and what's going to set me up for my future. Where maybe in other times it was, where can we be the most successful? And as a byproduct of that, individually, we're all going to win. It's much more of a, how can I benefit from this? Right. And basketball seems like a really good example, because it's who's not necessarily the best team that I can go be the star, be the guy, instead of how can I contribute to where I'm eventually going to be the guy.
Right.
I want to be the guy day one until the day I leave.
Yeah.
And that maybe has changed, I think, over the last couple of years, or, couple of decades even, to where it used to be, where can I come in, help contribute? I don't mind being patient. I don't mind. I know my time's coming, but it doesn't have to be on day one.
Yeah, and and Adam from Lincoln, thank you for tapping in. I would have called you a name texter, but I did get a chance to see that. But Adam from Lincoln also says and agrees with Cigar Guy in the same form. I get it. I really do. I understand that part of it. I wish we can continue to dig into this. We might come back to it. We may bring it back in the crossover, because I don't think we're done with it. I don't think we've explored it enough, expanded on it enough. But we've got to take a break. Unfortunately, we're getting into the 3:00 hour. Eastrick and Nick Sainert here on the block. We're going to come back. We're going to come back to this, though. Don't lose it. Stay with us on it. But we're going to come back and talk about college football's Week 5 winners and losers. And here's why. I think we think that the college football landscape is not, the picture is not coming clear.
Yeah.
It's not like that puzzle where the pieces are fitting to where you can start to see what it looks like.
Well, we talked about it, I can't remember if it was last week or 2 weeks ago, where it's like on any given day, it feels like anybody can win and vice versa, anybody can lose. And so, like, even these national powerhouses that we're looking like, that we're talking about through the transfer portal, through NIL, through the changes in collegiate athletics, things are a possibility rather than a rarity. If that makes sense. So it's kind of interesting to see as we go forward.
Yeah. So we'll come back. We'll get into that when we get right back. 93.7 The Ticket, theticketfm.com.
Hey, it's Chad with the Nutrition Authority, inviting you to stop in and check out the all-new complete post-workout recovery, CPR. CPR is ideal for anyone who works out or competes and wants to maximize results. CPR can only be found at Nutrition Authority. Stop in today and try a free sample, or visit us at mynutritionauthority.com.
Repeat after me. I will not touch the fuse box.
I will probably not touch the fuse box.
Sip, do you remember what happened last time?
Yeah, I remember.
What happened?
Half of the city block lost power.
And?
My chicken condo went haywire.
That's right. The chickens ran wild. So what do we do instead?
Call Joe at Ambition Electric and let him handle everything. Look, saved on speed dial.
Ambition Electric, 402-217-3415, or online at ambitionelectric.com.
If your car has sent you to the sidelines, Eustace Body Shop can help. With gold-class certified technicians, OEM parts, and free loaner cars, Eustace Body Shop is your best choice this Husker season. And with 6 locations across central and eastern Nebraska, we've got you covered, whether you're rooting at home or you're headed to Memorial Stadium. Get a free online quote at EustaceBodyShop.com, and let's get you back in the game.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate needs and more. Enjoy 80% lean ground beef for just $2.99 per pound, USDA Choice Tri-Tip for $8.99 per pound, and all-natural boneless, skinless chicken breast for $1.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
93.7 The Ticket has moved downtown, and you're invited to join us for new beginnings. Join us for our grand opening on Thursday, October 5th at 6 p.m. to celebrate our new space with ribbon cuttings and more. Raising Cane's will be on site to provide entertainment and prizes as we bring downtown Lincoln the newest hangout spot for its favorite radio station. It's 93.7 The Ticket's grand opening at the new 11th and O location, sponsored by Raising Cane's. Tune in throughout the week for more information on times.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Brought to you by Mary Ellen's Food for the Soul. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Yes. We're back on the block. Second hour, we're going to talk about college football. Week 5 winners and losers, and get into the discussion, because to me, when I look at the college football landscape, Nick Sainert, my friend, my pal, my buddy, the picture is not picturing.
No, it's not clear, which is a good thing.
It's really not clear, and I like that.
It's a great thing.
I mean, it goes back, for me, it goes back to a time when even last year when we were at the old station. Wow, I can say that now. That's kind of dope to say. When we were at the old station, one of the things I had talked about is, are we starting to see more parity?
Yeah.
Has the transfer portal, has the way recruiting is, was it COVID year? What has created this parity that we're now starting to find? To me, I made a case for it being COVID, because a lot of scholarships, that extra year of scholarships, now everybody couldn't come. 5 stars, 4 stars that probably would have been in the cycle of the new breed coming into programs, ended up going to other places that they probably wouldn't have gone to, maybe getting better, doing better in other places that they may not have had they, been able to go to the school of their choosing.
Yeah.
So where did the parity come from? How did we get here? But let's start from the top.
Yeah.
But give me your initial thoughts.
Well, I think as much as we don't like the transfer portal, I think that's helped the college football, specifically speaking, college football here.
Especially if you're expanding into 12.
Exactly.
And you don't want still to be in the 4, the top 4, just total domination, which we've seen in the past.
I think I agree. And people get tired of the same thing over and over. Like there was that stretch there where it was Alabama Clemson for 3 straight years. And if you're not one of those teams or fans of those teams, you're sitting there going, dang, when's somebody else going to get a chance? And like, yes, there's some truth, and it's valid to sit there and go, well, just get better. There's truth to that. I get that, where it's, hey, there's no reason that Alabama or Clemson should drop down to your level. You need to rise up to them. But I think the transfer portal has helped alleviate and minimize the distance maybe between those types of programs. For example, the quarterback position is so easy. The quarterback position is I shouldn't say easy. Of course, to see how much it affects a program and a team, right? You look at a Notre Dame, they're not anywhere close to where they're at. Offensive wise, statistical wise, or
they won in the
on a season, if they don't get Sam Hartman,
yeah, they won.
You can also see, according to this article
Drake
that we're referring to, Drake May at North Carolina. But if you look at a couple of these losers, or not losers, but teams that maybe aren't performing up to expectations, Georgia being one of them, what's their quarterback position look like?
Yeah.
They don't have a guy like they've normally had, to where they don't have, and it's weird to say Stetson Bennett, but they don't have a Stetson Bennett on this roster.
Steady Stetson.
Carson Beck is not that guy.
No.
Alabama doesn't have either skill positions across the board.
Yeah.
Or they don't have a quarterback. Yeah.
I mean, he threw 12 times, ran for 30.
Exactly.
32.
They don't have that this year.
Yeah.
So and Washington's a great example as well.
Michael Penix.
Washington's nowhere near where they're at now if they have anybody but Michael Penix or of somebody of that caliber.
That fact.
And so with all this in mind, it allows teams like a Washington that maybe aren't on the national level of a Georgia to say, yeah, we're going to play for some postseason football. And we might not have a chance in the regular season to play in Alabama, but if we match up seed wise in the 12-team playoff, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Sweet.
Let's
do it.
take
Let's what better place, right? This is what everybody wanted. And that's why I never understand. Now, you can go deep on like the 12-team playoff and whether or not it's good for football and whether or not the extra games are good for the players or bad for the players, all of that. But let's not forget and lose sight of what the complaint was when this whole playoff thing started. It was stop letting a computer decide what team is best, right? Well, this is exactly what it's doing, just on a greater scale with more teams involved. That's all this is doing, is that you're now allowed to see, all right, is the sixth team in the country truly better than the 12th team?
Right.
Or however the seeds are going to line up. Is
it going to be conference based?
I think eventually there will be.
I think it will be. You know what I mean? Where you'll have more of the higher seeds in the big conferences.
I think so too.
Yeah.
But then it's also going to give a team like a UCF back when Scott Frost was coaching them. It's going to give a Memphis back when Jay Norvell was coaching them. I'm trying to think. Coastal Carolina of the last couple of years. Tulane. Like, you're going to give those teams that if they barely make it in to either say, Cincinnati, to where we're going to prove it on the gridiron that we're capable and comparable to these Power 5 programs. And how do those teams get Division I talent and FBS level talent? Through the portal, through guys that maybe get beat out of Georgia, through guys that get beat out at an Alabama, and they want that fresh start of being the guy. They go to a Tulane, they go to a Cincinnati, heck, they go to a Nebraska, to where they can rejuvenate their career and still have something to play for.
I'm what I'm worried about is FCS, right? And not worry, because they usually would get an opportunity to make a nice little bag for their college program.
Absolutely.
By going and playing a team. And there were a lot of teams scared to play an Appalachian State, or teams scared to play a definitely North Dakota State.
Absolutely.
South Dakota State. You had to worry about that because they were going to come with it.
Exactly. Well, they got nothing to lose. It's exactly what Nebraska faced in Northern Illinois and Louisiana Tech. They got nothing to lose.
So are they going to lose their savor? That's what I'm asking.
Well,
like, is it going to be that more of those type of guys go to a bottom tier?
Yeah.
See, that's I think it's going to be a trickle down effect that's going to hurt a lot of those types of programs.
And we in that conversation we had at the start of the show about non-conference and conference games and things like that. If they end up doing away with non-con games, I think that's where you'll see some of the lesser programs or lower programs hurt, right? Because they won't have that $1.8 million contract paycheck to go to Nebraska. They won't have that $1.7 million paycheck to go to Alabama. Even if you lose 56-14, that'll help fund a lot of things at those types of programs. And so it is disappointing. I think also, though, is that we're at this real crucial stage in collegiate athletics to where with all this changing, they have so much positive momentum that they need to make change. They need to continue with this. They need to figure out what's going to draw the most attention. And as we saw in the NFL and as we've seen in other sports, it's more games. It's more games with higher rated teams playing each other. And so you see professional sport organizations all over the country, whether it's baseball, whether it's NFL, expanding playoffs, expanding regular seasons, doing more of that. Heck, the Major League Baseball right now, instead of a winner-take-all wild card game like it used to be between just 2 teams, it's now 4 teams, and it's best of 3 for each of those series.
I like that.
I do too.
I like that.
But
I think
why?
It's best for the
because
game.
It's more product. It's more. There's a better chance
Opportunity.
it draws eyeballs, and it also is more spending money in marketing.
Yeah,
like it's all more. And so when you look at college football, they're definitely the collegiate sport that feels like it's taking the more professional approach when it comes to the business side of things, whether it's TV deals, whether it's marketing money, whether it's NIL, for goodness sakes. And so with all that in mind, I think the more college football that you can get between teams that are higher ranked, and you don't have to have it in the non-conference slate. Also, you can have it in the beginning of the season, but you can also have it at the end. It's only going to be better for all the programs involved at that level.
When we look at the powerhouses of teams, let's just run through it real quick. Of the powerhouses, the Georgias, USC's, Texas, Oregon, Michigan, Penn State, let's see, even Utah as they fall in. I still think that opportunity but opens up for themselves, especially in the conference.
Why has Utah been struggling so much? It's because Cam Rising's been banged up.
So we talked about, so that's another thing, right? I was gonna mention. So you talk about the quarterback. Utah is definitely not benefiting from the loss of a quarterback right now. But then you look at two other quarterbacks that just faced last week, and you get an understanding that even with lackluster aspects of their football program, whether it be on the defensive side, whether it be their line, whether it be some of their skill players maybe not up to par, maybe injuries are impacting them a little bit. You saw it, it's evident with the USC and the Colorado game where two top-tier elite type quarterbacks faced off, which it looked like it was going to be a blowout, but then the other one says, oh no.
Yeah.
And then you have a young skilled receiver, raises his level and steps in and fills the void when, one of the best players in college football is out.
Yeah, in this day and age of college football, I think a really talented quarterback can hide a lot of flaws around him.
Yeah.
And they can cover up a lot of flaws around him. Why? Because when you have a quarterback that's maybe doing exceptional things, it takes it takes a lot of pressure off of the guys around him to go make spectacular plays. Right. We're seeing it this year with Nebraska, right? And Nebraska's the great example because not very good at the quarterback position, whether Jeff Sims is healthy or not very good at the quarterback position.
Skill positions at the wide receiver.
And so with that though, but think about the conversations we've been having with a poor quarterback or with a quarterback that maybe doesn't make the smartest decisions. We're saying Alex Bullock, go make spectacular play. Billy Kemp, do something that maybe you haven't been able to or haven't done in your career quite yet. We need you to do something else. We need you to take a step up. Well, if you have a quarterback that can put a ball on the money consistently, makes good decisions, allows the margin for error to be a little wider than maybe it is right now at Nebraska. You're not saying that about those players. You're not saying Alex Bullock is going out, getting 5 catches and having 90 yards a game. And you're saying, okay, yeah, he's serviceable and Nebraska's winning games. But then once the good teams become great and then the great teams become elite is when you have an extraordinary quarterback that makes good decisions, that's playing up to their standard, but then also really good skill positions or guys that step up and take it at a level higher.
Right.
That's because when you're getting peak performance from your most important guys, that is when special things happen. And that's when you have a national championship caliber type of team. Georgia right now, Brock Bowers playing to his level. They got really,
saved him basically.
Yeah, they did. He
saved
did.
Them.
Their quarterback's not.
Right.
So when one of those pieces are not in sync or not on the same page or not doing their job, that's when the wheels start to come off. Well, for Nebraska right now, neither one is on offense, especially is doing their job. And so now that's when you see an offense that ranks 122nd in the country, a rushing offense that had their running back had 6 carries for 16 yards last week. Quarterback not been able to hold on to the ball. Like that's when you see those things start to happen because both sides are not kind of handling their business, if you will.
So when we look at the national landscape, which team to you of the big boys is more looking like they're ready to take a step, and which ones is been the most disappointing at this point? So for me, I'll throw it out for me. I think Texas right now looks more
Stricky,
like
you and me, my guy.
You know what I mean?
Hey, listen, I was concerned about Texas
coming into
after this year or after last year because they lost Bijan Robinson. And Bijan did a lot for them, not only in the running game, but also in the pass catching game. He was a real safety net for Quinn Ewers. They have what they did at Alabama. Now Alabama's down, but what they did at Alabama put them in that conversation.
Yeah.
Now we're about to find out this weekend against Oklahoma.
Red River,
Don't forget, last year Texas won 49-0. Now Oklahoma was not at full strength. Dylan Gabriel was not in that game for Oklahoma last year in 2022 in the 49-0 loss to Texas. But does Dylan Gabriel give you 49 points? Texas is better than what they were last year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so this is when we, once again, another test for Texas to say, yep, we are in the national championship discussion. And if they go out and they win comfortably over Oklahoma, then I think we will be.
Yeah, I think I would have to agree. I would say probably my biggest surprise is Kentucky right now.
Yeah, Mark Stoops has done his job.
I'm just impressed with just what they do as a team. Who's your biggest letdown right now as you looked at it? Just of the big boys. The big boys.
I'm trying not to go with Georgia. I'll add one more winner.
Okay.
Notre Dame.
I would have to agree.
Just despite what happened against Ohio State, Notre Dame, they have a really good running back in Audric Estime. They replaced their offensive coordinator late in the offseason of Tommy Rees, right?
Mhm.
Tommy Rees went to Alabama, and they had to bring in a new guy, and they bring in the number one quarterback in the transfer portal class. And Notre Dame, who graduated a first round or second round type of talent, a tight end in Matt Mayer last year, they're able to now be a top 10 team in the country. And I think technically, despite the Ohio State, I think they're better than the Buckeyes.
Yeah.
They were better than the Buckeyes on all but maybe 9 plays that night.
Yeah.
And so I think Notre Dame can be thrown in that conversation as well.
Okay, well, here's where I would take into account. Give me your biggest disappointment right now at this point. Who would you say that is, or do you want me to go first? You want me to give it to you?
I think biggest disappointment
as far as the big boys with the high expectations. They had high expectations coming in. You probably expected more out of them.
Like you could go with like a Utah, but it's hard for me to say that there's such a disappointment with the injury.
Yeah.
So
I thought they've been scrapping.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of like a team that's full strength for the most part, and I can't go past Alabama. Like I just can't. I can't. They don't look smooth, and it's not that I'm saying, oh, they just lost a game, so that's why they're struggling, or that's why I'm putting them in this conversation. No, it's because they haven't looked good. They lost. They were down, or they were just barely ahead at halftime against South Florida.
Yeah,
and like things like that would not have happened to this Alabama dynasty in recent years.
Yeah,
and so they don't have the skill positions. I don't think they don't have a for sure fire quarterback in Jalen Milroe. And so, and they don't have a Will Anderson on defense. So I think Alabama's got to be the team for me.
I think I'm going to agree with text line. Again, the Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685. I'm going to agree with Augie on the text line. Augie says, I think LSU is disappointing so far. I would have to agree with you. They gave up 700 yards against Ole Miss, who just the week before got dismantled. And they come back in, and you had high expectations. A lot of people thought LSU was going to be the one to come out of the
and
SEC
why?
this
Because
year.
they have a really good really good quarterback.
Yeah,
they have a very good quarterback in Jaden Daniels, the Arizona State transfer from a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
and I think Jaden Daniels is still good. They just don't. They.
I mean, he's thrown for 414.
Yeah,
I mean, it's not that
they
it's
have
not
a
bad.
horrible defense.
Defense is horrible.
Horrible defense.
Who's riding under the rib? Before we go to break, for you guys also as well, who is riding under the radar? Like there's nobody really talking about them, but yet they're just kind of just trickling along and just doing their thing week in and week out. Who is that for you?
Is it weird that it's a game that I talked about this weekend, Oklahoma?
Oh, wow. Okay.
Like
that was I didn't expect that.
That's an under the radar type of team. I think Dylan Gabriel's really good for Oklahoma, and in year 2 of Brent Venables, they had a very off year last year. I mean, Brad, you're right. Duke, I suppose, but they lost to Notre Dame. I think I'm going to go with Oklahoma, though, because in year 2 of Brent Venables, there was a lot of doubt after last year of whether he could get this turned around or how quick he could get this turned around. He's leaned a lot on former players. He's leaned a lot on Bob Stoops, obviously, in Norman. And they have been beating opponents the exact way that they need to if they want to be a top 15 team in this country.
To me, I kind of hate to say this because they've been such a disappointment to me over as I've watched them and with high expectations. I've got to possibly look at Texas A&M.
Yeah, I think they lost their starting quarterback, though. So this week they host Alabama.
Sheesh.
Texas A&M hosts Alabama. They lost their quarterback, though, to a season-ending injury.
And see, that's going to be the part that I kind of. But
once
I would
again-
say Oregon too. I would say them in Oregon.
Oregon looks real good.
Actually, Oregon. I think Oregon will do it again to USC. I just think their defense is better, and I think the veteran leadership at the quarterback position there is. I mean, I think Bo Nix is. It's a toss-up sometimes, depending on how well he'll play. But I think he's got a better handle on it. I think their defense is better, probably one of the better teams. But let me just throw a shout out before we go on the break. Let's shout out to the whole Pac-12 right now this year.
Yeah, I mean,
hand clap.
Washington State,
right? Oregon State.
But once again, and I hate to continue harping on this, but this is why now Nebraska going forward.
Johnny Mack, I see you.
Yeah. I mean,
Johnny
right.
Mack, I see you.
Penn State.
You're right. Johnny Mack, I see you.
But once again, this is, I don't want to continue harping on the subject, but I'm going to. Nebraska's got to get the quarterback figured out.
Yeah.
Because look at what all these teams have. Cameron Ward at Washington State. DJ Uiagalelei at Oregon State. Dylan Gabriel at Oklahoma. Quinn Ewers at Texas. All these teams that are surprises, that are knocking off teams that are better than other ones, all have quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm.
They all have good quarterbacks. And so the evaluation has to be on point if you're Nebraska staff going forward.
Yeah.
You can't keep missing on a quarterback. And this is not just a Matt Rule thing. This might be over the years type of things.
Yeah.
Because this does not just limit it to the starter. This is not just say your evaluation when it only comes to the starting quarterback has to be on point. It has to be, the evaluation needs to be there from quarterbacks 1 to 4.
3. At least 3. At least 3. At least.
It has to be.
Yeah.
Because if it's not, and your guy goes down, the drop-off is significant, and there goes any hope of making noise in the playoffs.
Yeah.
You have to figure out the quarterback. Nobody thought Washington State was going to be a top 20 ball club coming into this year. And then now you have Cam Ward come in. The evaluation is there. And so, as an unnamed texter says, do we worry about Rule's evaluation on Sims? I think the freak reaction is to be like, yeah, Rule's evaluation of Sims bad. He shouldn't have listened to Jeff Collins, the former Georgia Tech coach. He should have known that Sims is a turnover issue, right? I think that's the freak and gut reaction, and it's understandable because that's what we've seen from Jeff Sims so far this year. But I think it's also important to see, okay, sample size as we take a step back. Let's continue to see more of Jeff Sims. Let's see more. Like, I wish we could have seen Jeff Sims against the Louisiana Tech, against the Northern Illinois.
I agree.
We can't. Let's hope we can maybe see him against Illinois. I think because, unfortunately, it's hard to judge Matt Rule's evaluation after 2 games of a quarterback. But that's why I didn't want to make this sound like just a specific Matt Rule issue, because this is a Nebraska problem over the last multitude of years. And it transcends staffs because when the number 1 quarterback goes down, the drop off to number 2 is dramatic.
It's a big gap.
It's dramatic.
Yeah.
And so I don't think Jeff Sims has had enough of a period of playing time, specifically at Nebraska, in this system, when Nebraska's maybe had, and Nebraska's offensive coordinator around him has maybe gotten into a rhythm of how he wants to do things at Nebraska. So maybe you can have a minor concern about evaluation with Matt Rule. I don't think it's fair, though, right off the bat to say that going forward. Now, in years ahead, they got to get it right, because it's all going to start with the quarterback. Whether that's at high school level, whether that's in the transfer portal,
JUCO,
you got to figure out a way to get it right, because you can either keep your program on schedule, maybe even advance it a year, maybe 2 years with a really good quarterback. But man, if you choose a bad one, you can set your program back
3 to 4 years,
3, 4, maybe even 5 years.
Facts.
You can. And so that's why it makes that decision so important going forward in this day and age of college football. You can mess up at the wide receiver position because you got more guys in that room. You can mess up in the running back room because you have more guys in that room, and you hopefully have depth there built up as well. But man, with the guy that touches the ball every single snap. You have to make sure he's got it through the passing game, where you guys got to make sure he has it in the running game and in between the ears. You got to make sure that he's got the mental wherewithal when it comes to playing quarterback.
Absolutely. William Durazo on the streamline. We do see you. We hear you as well. Interesting comment there. But I think the pistol option, he says Army OC, let's go get him. He runs the pistol. With the quarterback group that we have, I think that style of, offense works for us. It's something that fits the quarterback room that we have right now, that style of offense. But so I see you from that, but I'm not going to go that overboard. Hopefully they'll be able to acquire somebody in the transfer portal that fits more of what, Coach Satterway wants.
Mm-hmm.
But
so now I want to bring this up. I'm sorry, Strick. Oh, we're behind time.
We're kind of behind.
Let's go ahead. We can go to break. I want to address Scott from Bancroft's text after the break, if that's okay with you.
Sounds good. We'll do that when we come back on the break. 93.7 The Ticket on the block. We'll be right back after this.
If you're in Seward or Milford, listen up. Select Plumbing is now servicing your area with no trip charges from Lincoln. Select Plumbing works on a variety of issues for your home and business, including general plumbing, water heaters, faucet and fixture repair, underground sewer and water repairs, backflow testing, and more. Keep your property free from leaks and other issues. Call today for a free estimate, 402-560-6197. It's not just Lincoln, Waverly, and the surrounding area anymore. It's also Seward and Milford with no trip charges. Contact Select Plumbing to inquire at 402-560-6197.
Hi, everyone. Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
This is Brian at Midwest Bank, and we've been proudly serving clients in the Lincoln community since 2008, and we're excited to open a second location in January 2024 at 70th and Pioneers Boulevard. Our new branch will provide all the convenient services you're looking for in a bank, along with the friendly staff we're known for. Whether you're starting a business or expanding your business, our team is here for you, your community, your bank, Midwest Bank. Find out more at midwestbank.com, member FDIC.
Drink locally and support local businesses during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 2nd through the 8th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
At Fairway Meat Market, your family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate needs and more. Enjoy 80% lean ground beef for just $2.99 per pound. USDA Choice Tri-Tip for $8.99 per pound, and all natural boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Your home is your empire. Protect it with Empire Fence. Get a free instant quote with the online estimating tool at empire-fence.com. See an upfront estimate with no hidden fees. An Empire Fence can provide privacy and improve the appearance of your home. Keep kids and pets in or out of your yard. Increase security and add value to your property. Visit empire-fence.com now to view the stylish and maintenance-free possibilities for your home and get a free instant online quote. Let Empire Fence protect your empire.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Welcome back on the block, Strick and Nick Sainert. Here's the deal. That conversation got pretty deep. I'm going to allow you to tap in on the text question that was posed to you.
Because this is an interesting angle to it that is certainly available nowadays with NIL and with donors and boosters and all that. And we know Nebraska has those. Heck, Nebraska is going to be spending $450 million eventually. 225 of that is going to be private donors, I believe, if I remember correctly. So I think that's important to keep in mind here. And this is an open-ended question that I want to get your guys' thoughts off on the Starter Heyman Jewelers text line and the Honda of Lincoln hotline 402-464-5685. So time on in. Scott from Bancroft says this. Money talks, it does in the pros. Obviously, Nebraska has plenty of money to spend. So why are we not spending more on players with NIL? And he says top quality players. He then adds on, why can't some of these donors take some of that money for the stadium expansion and go throw $5 to $10 million at Dylan Raiola? Now,
let me answer first because I know you've got a question. I want, because it ties into what I've been talking about.
Yeah, go ahead then. Go ahead.
I just want to quick answer it because the reason is, and it goes back to this part, I could be wrong, but I think Nebraska is stuck on the brand.
Mm-hmm.
Give you a little bit here, 100,000, 300,000, but you're so stuck that the brand is going to be the thing that draws you. It's going to be the facilities. It's going to be the brand. It's going to be the fan support.
Yep.
But it's not that these days.
Now don't forget here, and this is the kind of the open-ended question, because I don't really have an opinion on this. If you want to go pay $10 million, go ahead, do it. Now, I remember when the whole Dylan Raiola situation was going on, and obviously Dylan Raiola is the easy one to kind of talk about because he's the number one player, has the Nebraska ties, was actually considering Nebraska. Now, if you want to go throw the $10 million at a player, that's fine, and $10 million is just a figure.
Can I just ask you a question, Nick?
Go ahead.
While you're doing that, just real quick, along the Raiola situation.
Mm-hmm.
If Nebraska had gotten off to a better start, had better showings, Do you think that we still could have had a late shot at Dylan Raiola, being that the quarterback situation is the way it is? I'm saying, like, if we were 4-1 going into, or 4-0 going into Michigan, and you play good against Michigan, and then you run the West, I think you had a shot at it.
I do not, because look where he's going. A team that needs a quarterback. A team that doesn't have a very good quarterback right now.
You're right.
I also think look at maybe how his future projects, and this goes back to the Lisa Bluter thing. How many guys did Georgia put in the NFL last year? Their entire defense,
an
entire
and
side
the
of the ball,
and
a quarterback. Like he's good friends with Matt Stafford.
Mm-hmm.
Like he comes from a professional pedigree. I don't know, when we're talking about Dylan Raiola specifically.
That's a good point.
Is the money really that big of a factor for Dylan Raiola? Like, he's going to get paid NIL wherever he goes.
Next levels for him is where he's looking.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And so obviously it's easy to put that name, but now, and I'm not trying to burst the bubble of hundreds of thousands of Husker fans here, but I think also when you look at this, don't forget the complaints that people and Husker fans were having when we were discussing that and how to get Dylan Raiola, or a player of his caliber, to Nebraska by just paying him millions of dollars. Because the complaint that I heard from Husker fans while we were hosting radio shows was, well, we don't want to pay somebody. They should want to come here on their own. They should want to come here for Nebraska. Well, you lose that if you just pay them money to come here.
Mm-hmm.
So which one is it? And that's where the open-ended question comes for 402-464-5685. Are you, now that Nebraska, that we've seen Nebraska through 5 games be 2-3, have a pretty bad offense, are we okay with saying, yeah, go ahead and pay somebody millions of dollars to come here, even if they don't want to come play for Nebraska, they're going to come and play here, and that's going to elevate Nebraska? Or is it the same that it was 6, 7, 8 months ago when we had the same exact conversation of, no, they should want to come to Nebraska first, and then the NIL can come? Because it can't be both.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be both.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to fully commit to the NIL, then go ahead. And you might find,
because he's saying they want them to come here because they want the end. They want to be right.
This is not Scott is not the only one. Scott is not the only one that's brought this up. But like, the facilities, they talk. The facilities help recruits come here. They get them in the door. But it's the winning, it's the getting them to the next level, it's the development, right? That will continue to attract recruits. You can go ahead and throw $3, $4, $5 million at them. That's going to probably get some eyeballs on you as a program. But as a fan of a tradition-rich university like Nebraska football is, do you want that? Because 8 months ago, nobody did. Everybody wanted Dylan Raiola to commit because it was the legacy.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted Dylan Raiola to come to Nebraska because he wanted to be at Nebraska. So now that Nebraska's 2-3 through 5 games, has a lot of questions at the quarterback position, and hasn't looked anywhere productive on offense consistently. Now we're switching it up to where throw 10 mil at him, get him here. That's fine. But then you run the risk of 4 or 5 years down the road when he's not there, not necessarily being a huge fan of Nebraska and being a pioneer for Nebraska. And Dylan Raiola is different because he's got the legacy. But I'm saying in the grand scheme of it with recruits, do you see where I'm getting that, Strick?
No, I absolutely.
Because you want guys after they leave to be supportive,
to be wanting to be around,
and to want to be around and come back. And you run the risk of losing that.
Yeah.
If it all becomes about money at the college level.
I think too, something to add on to this before we go to break, to cross it over with the old school crew, and we may not, and we may just end up just having a short segment. No, there's conversations going on out there in the new ticket building right next to the mill. They're starting to build the outside part of the landscape, and their landscaping
is on the way.
It's on the way, man. It's all coming together. But listen, I think I kind of get what you're saying too, and here's where it may end up coming down to. We may end up having to get real adept at finding, hunting, getting guys that are under the radar, getting on them early, staying the course with them, making sure there's some security in their NIL situation, and really build them up.
Yeah.
You're going to have to take a crew of guys because you're getting to the point now where you're not going to be able to draw a lot of that top tier type of talent, especially with the expanded. This was the year for you. Game against Colorado, a lot of viewership, a favorable schedule, Nick, that could put you in the running for a Big Ten West championship to get into that game. It was set up for you, to be able to do that. You needed to make an impact or a splash in this because it's not going to get easier.
Absolutely.
Oregon's coming, Washington's coming,
well,
USC's coming, UCLA's coming. And that's putting you further and further down the totem pole to me.
Think about the conversation we're having right now in regards to this season for Nebraska. All right, they're entering the Big Ten West, but guess what? Big Ten West doesn't look good. That's not that conversation, that possibility for a conversation goes away tomorrow.
Yeah.
Or not, excuse me, not tomorrow.
End of the year.
Next season. That conversation goes away because you got to be one of the two best teams. And so if from a program standpoint, like there's curiosity, concern, just this looming cloud of just unknown floating over Nebraska right now, because from here on out, Nebraska's got to be better than either Penn State, Michigan, and Ohio State. They got to be better than there's only one team that they can be worse than every single year throughout the 18-team Big Ten Conference. And right now, they're not the best in one of the divisions, potentially the weakest division in all of college football. And they finished 4th last year.
Yeah.
So that there's this looming cloud of, oh no, how long is it going to be? How long is it going to take for Nebraska to consistently get to a conference championship level? Think about what I just said. Not national championship level, conference championship level. Because it's not slowing down. There's only more talent coming in, and it's only going to become more of a gauntlet. And so that conversation that we're having this year, hey, Nebraska, if they beat Illinois, they're right in the thick of it. Nebraska beats Northwestern the following week. They continue to be in the thick of it.
Yeah.
That's all gone next year.
That's a fact.
Because you can beat the Northwesterns, the Illinois, the Purdue's. That's not going to be good enough like it is and has been. You got to beat the Penn State, the Ohio State, the Michigans. And as we saw on Saturday, Nebraska might be a far way away from that kind of level.
I mean, I would say you were blessed over the last 3 years that you didn't have to see the Penn State and the
I told AD and Raf
the Ohio State
every single year.
Yeah.
I told AD and Raf, like, look at a Maryland this year.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maryland is 5-0 in year 6 of Mike Locksley. They statistically, they're beating opponents by, I believe, 33 points per game on average. They put a whooping to Indiana over the weekend. They've beaten all the teams that they're supposed to beat. They have a really good quarterback, an experienced quarterback, the most experienced quarterback in the entire Big Ten Conference, in Talia Tagovailoa, and they're 5-0.
Right?
Is anybody considering them for the Big Ten championship? No. Why? Because they got to go Penn State. They got to play they got to play Penn State. They got to play Michigan, and they got to play Ohio State. And you can be really, really good and lose one of those three. In the future years, you have to be able to be better than all three of those.
All three of those, because the mid-tier is still going to be difficult.
And I drove away from the station on Saturday night, and that's all I could think about was, thank goodness Nebraska doesn't have to play Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan every year. It's one of those. And because it's got to be painful for Maryland fans. And think about if they're at a fan base like Nebraska, to where we'd be hooting and hollering all over the place if Nebraska was where Maryland's at.
Where they're at.
But then we would be pissed off at the world because Nebraska wouldn't be in the Big Ten title game. And they wouldn't be talked about on a national level, just like Maryland is. Why? Because you have the three juggernauts ahead of them. And so Nebraska, I mean, somewhat here they are in the Big Ten West, let's hope that they can still control their own destiny at some point.
Well, we've got to get to our last break. We'll see about what the crossover is going to look like, or if we're going to get out of here. Had a great discussion today. Thank you guys on the text line as well. We appreciate you guys for your continued support, as well as wonderful questions and good debates there. Wish we could get to all of them, but we can't. We'll be right back. 93.7 The Ticket at ticketfm.com.
At Fairway Meat Market, you're family, and as part of the family, they want to save you money on your meat and groceries. This week, they have your tailgate needs and more. Enjoy 80% lean ground beef for just $2.99 per pound, USDA Choice Tri-Tip for $8.99 per pound, and all-natural boneless, skinless chicken breast for $1.99 per pound. That's all at Fairway Meat Market in the Rockledge Square Shopping Center, just south of 84th and Van Dorn.
My dream was to work in commercial banking, but it required a college degree and I didn't have one. I found out that Doane had classes for adult learners on the Lincoln campus and online. So I earned my bachelor's degree, and 5 months later, I landed my dream job. I decided to continue my education, and now I'm working on my MBA at Doane. For me, the Doane experience has been life-changing.
Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness specialize in getting rid of people's pain quickly and permanently. For 31 years, they've been extremely successful with advanced techniques in pain relief using spinal adjustments and decompression, detoxification, diet and lifestyle modification, and more. They are fully equipped to handle the most seasonal athlete, weekend warrior, car accidents, strains, sprains, and more. Is there anywhere you're experiencing pain on your body, or are you fighting decreased energy and depression? Consult Belmont Chiropractic and Novotny Nutrition and Wellness first at 402-476-8619.
Gray Diesel and Equipment Services is your go-to place in Lincoln for repairs and maintenance for diesel pickups to Class 8 over-the-road trucks and trailers, from bumper pole utility to full-size semi. Gray performs DOT inspections and are a service provider for fleet companies like ARI, Element Fleet, and FleetNet. They're a family-owned business in operation since 1952, and they keep a clean, friendly shop. Customer service is their top priority. Give Gray Diesel and Equipment Services a visit today, with easy access just off I-80 and North 56th Street.
Are you working in or looking to get into the electrical construction industry? The electrical workers of Local Union 265 are now hiring licensed journeymen and apprentices and are offering great pay and benefits. Call Mike at 402-875-1034 to apply. Start your electrical career today.
It takes a great game plan to win a football game each week, and right now, it's time to plan a trip to get a new car at Mullen Motors. Just like on the football field, there's a wall of defense on the way to Mullen Motors. 48th Street is under construction from Layton all the way to Cornhusker. It's full of tons of great vehicles to drive home this fall for the ultimate touchdown. Mullen Motors, still open through road construction at 48th and Walker.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Drink locally and support local businesses during Lincoln's Craft Beer Week, October 2nd through the 8th. Great beer, cider, distillates, and more are made right here in Lincoln. For more info, visit lincoln.org/beer-week. Brought to you by Visit Lincoln. Remember to enjoy responsibly. Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
Whether you're looking for a place to stay for a concert at PBA, a Nebraska home game, or just a night on the town, the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket is the place for you. Enjoy an evening at one of many restaurants or bars within a short walking distance. Business travelers at the hotel will enjoy free high-speed internet access, a 24-hour business center, and large in-room workstations. And check out the Bistro, where you'll enjoy healthier food and beverage options, as well as high-tech conveniences. Book your room today at the Courtyard Lincoln Downtown Haymarket.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppel Chevrolet GMC, and our Big Fall sales underway, and the new truck incentives are off the charts. Over $5,000 in discounts on select new Sierras and Silverados and 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. $5,000 off, 0.9% interest rates on select new trucks here at Coppel. So please take that short money-saving drive down 144th Street and check out that great small-town vibe with big city deals. We look forward to seeing you, or check us out online at koppelcars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet.
O Street Carpet.
1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. You can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
Something spooktacular is happening at Bonsall Pool and Spa. From now until October 14th, visit the Bonsall Spooktacular sale to take advantage of this great cash and carry offer. $400 off all in-stock free-flow spas. Also, customers can take 10% off spa chemical and spa cover orders. Stop by today at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard to take home your free flow spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, also online at bonsallpool.com.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Yes. It is the crossover. Crossover shenanigans off the mic is always going on here on the block, as well as all the shows. You can find great content always on theticketfm.com. You can go there and get all of the previous shows of the day, the evening shows of the day, but definitely on the block 2 to 4 is where we are, and we're crossing over at 2
with Gus Johnson.
Yeah. Do we need to do a station? We already did it. We clear.
Yeah, we
because we did.
Let me
hit it.
Let's go ahead. Let's
Strick love the station ID.
He does love the station ID.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet. KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey, it's a good thing one of us is paying attention. Nice job, Strick.
Yeah, I just had to stay on top of that just to make sure we don't cause any issues or problems. But you kind of heard some of the conversations that we were talking about a little bit earlier. I think it's very nuanced, and I think I take the same stance that you take, that it doesn't matter how much money you throw at anybody, so my last question was this, Jay, and I'll just throw it. I said, are we getting to the point to where we're losing the savor, to where we're going to have to do more evaluation as opposed to just being able to get guys to want to come here because this is the place to be?
Yeah, I think we're a little bit too far gone.
We're past that.
We're past, like we've just been on a slide. And then also with this doesn't include Matt Rule, but with some of the coaching personalities we had before, you know what I mean? That makes the slide even more at a rapid pace. And so, no, I think you're just throwing money out there and see, that's the part. I think that was almost, I always say this. And then when Nick was with us, I always said that sometimes coaches will say things that's on their obituary. Now, Steve Sarkisian has been the only one that's kind of made me look like a fool. We'll see this weekend. But yes, because they say or do things, right? He was up in the Red River rivalry or whatever it is and lost. Remember, just you can't do that.
Yeah.
But when we had, and I get it, when we had a chunk of money for NIL, and we thought, well, okay, guys, in theory, you would think players are going to be influenced. Like, I'm going to go to Nebraska over what we thought, say, like a Notre Dame or a Michigan or whatever, because in our minds we had the most NIL. But what happened is people caught up, which is natural, right? And then they have money, and then they're a little bit farther along as far as winning and prestige in their program. So they're making more or less business decisions, the good players. The good players are like, okay, let's just say I have $10 from Nebraska, but I got 7.5, 8 from a little bit better school. They're looking at, I can make up that $2 and then some based on performing well and opportunity. Visibility and stuff like that, because they know how to work the whole the Instagram and all that stuff. And so that's where we're at. And so I think really what we need to do, this would be my advice to the people that are doing NIL. I only know 1890's doing, I think they're doing a decent job. Here's what I would do. I will offer up my services and evaluate the players that you're giving these money to, and really could give you a calculation of whether you're going to get a decent return on your investment or not by watching the tape. Because sometimes you have to walk away from a deal based on at this point, because I have first-hand knowledge of it or experience with it when I was in Houston.
Right.
After I signed in our second year, we had a ton of cap room. Right, because they, fudged, Tony Baselli, who never played, came off the books, and a couple other guys. Well, we were going out and paying fringe players Pro Bowl money. Well, then everybody was just coming there.
Dallas Mavericks has done that too.
Right. Well, you've seen that, right?
I know exactly what you're saying. So OJ Mayo and all these guys are getting.
So what happens is,
what's wrong with OJ Mayo?
No.
Yeah. He hadn't recovered since he thought he could beat Michael Jordan one-on-one at his camp.
Right.
But what happens is everybody just comes there, and that's like your last. All right, I'll go to Nebraska, but for me to go, I need an extra 50. Well, then it becomes about now you're showing up and only playing for the money. And granted, I'm a firm believer. Every kid, you have way more opportunity than I ever had at 18 years old. Get all you can. Get 25 steps ahead of everybody else.
Yeah.
But also do it the right way. And I think sometimes if you do it the right way on your end, it forces players that come here to do it the right way on their end. I'm talking about educating them, having a mentor for them, having an evaluation system. That's where you can, as a university,
add value.
Right. Exactly. Because here's our problem. And I heard a little bit about Steve Taylor, or not a little, but I heard a little of Steve Taylor today. But this is where Nebraska needs to change their thinking. And this is an off-season discussion.
Type of thing.
You ain't gonna get nowhere this year because
it's over. It's already baked in.
This year's over.
No,
I know.
I'm
totally
saying
get
you don't deal with housekeeping stuff right now because you get nothing positive out of it.
Yeah.
But what you do is you try to shape your NIL differently. So then it becomes an advantageous position to be in if you're trying to get somebody to decide between Nebraska and School B, not just the money, because you're showing them how you're going to make that money for them and how you're going to increase your value.
Real quick. Yeah. I want you to hit it, but I just wanted to tap in on why that's so important, because the company that I ended up being, an investor to, which was Cerebro Sports. Right. That's what we do. That's the value add we bring is to do the evaluation non-biased outside.
And that's what I was just going to ask. That's what I was just going to
Cerebro Sports. That's what we do.
Are we trending, or should college athletics be trending towards a time where universities are using non-affiliated evaluators to put, I think when NIL started, we all saw value and putting a figure to a player as a negative thing. But here, when you're establishing a market, is that where we're heading? Is to where
you don't need a third party. You should be if
you can do it internally.
If I'm not biased out of it.
Yeah.
But there isn't bias, because if I'm a basketball coach, if I'm Fred Hoiberg, and I have Strick come in, and it's between Jay Foreman and Nick, and we're the two players, in order for him to keep getting paid, he's got to give me an honest evaluation.
That's true.
Right. And he's got to do what's best for the university. You could say, hey, you know what? Jay Foreman might be the better player. Nick has more potential, and he actually really wants to be here, because when I sat down and had dinner with him, I asked him a couple questions just about whatever, and this is the sense I got. That's the change right there.
I think the reason I brought that up is because if coaches understand what they need in their program specifically, and so they'll put more value on a wide receiver because they're thinner at the wide receiver position, if that makes sense.
Sure.
And so if there's a non-affiliated person or party evaluating, they can put this figure on the guy of what he's worth in NIL, what his value is. And then you're not going to overpay $3 million or $2 million for a guy because that ROI, because you put such a high value on him when he shouldn't have been, because you needed that guy that much more with your specific
You take
program.
the emotion out of it. Like,
are you seeing what I'm trying to say to an extent?
We're saying the same thing. Just because Strick played or I played for doesn't mean you're affiliated.
Right.
It isn't a bias because it's not a family.
I'm gonna tell you,
it's not a family member, and
right.
that's how. But then also that's how you add to your program, right? So it's not only doing it. Then you could assign a as needed mentor with him.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not about all the peaches and cream or whatever. You're teaching them about the life. That's what you. If you want to separate yourself, and actually, what this would be Nebraska catching up, right? Because I talk about it all the time.
What differentiates you from the others?
Right.
That could be a differentiating thing that can change the landscape of what Nebraska. I see where you're going.
And it differentiates what Nebraska is doing now to what they could do.
Right.
Because then you're showing somebody or a potential recruit or player, okay, this is what I could possibly be. So you're bringing back old school values, but then you're getting value out of it because he's producing. You know what I'm saying? And it's not not just strict showing up for 5 minutes or whatever. It's an ongoing mentorship. You have to invest in the people that knows what it takes in order to get out of the players what it takes. If you continue to do the same thing, we might as well just line up on O Street and just run into that wall over
Insanity.
there. Seriously.
Yeah.
I mean, I ask you this, okay? If you ask my dad, he says the Hurricanes are back. You ask him that. We'll see you in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah.
But from my dad in 1972, that he was Reuben Carter, and a couple other guys were the first African Americans. 1968, excuse me. In 1968 on that campus. Still to this day, they have relationships with players in some form or fashion. I'm going to see it firsthand.
Yeah.
Now, even when they were in the downturn, Al Golden and all that stuff, right? Still to this day, Mario Cristobal is doing it. Everybody, like Tennessee does it. Terry Fair tells me about it. Sean Bryson's involved. Jamal Lewis is involved. There's other guys that you don't know. Ohio State with Dustin Fox and all these guys that I do Big Ten stuff with. You can add value to your NIL program and differentiate yourself, and you will start making more football business decisions, right? So if you want to talk about, okay, did O'Shawn really would have been nice to see, like O'Shawn does he really want
to be here?
But did he really fit in your system? But does he? But like how you play your outside linebackers versus what you saw on YouTube are two different things.
Yeah.
Okay, well, what's his football acumen? Okay. How much does he really want to play another position?
Right.
You gotta have, hey, dude, like
dig into that,
because when he's talking to coaches,
he's gonna tell you everything you want to hear.
He's gonna be on his best behavior.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
What you're gonna see is you want to get him where he's comfortable, right? And how do you get comfortable with people that know your language and have the sense of, you know what I'm saying? It's like you as a baseball player, and you talking catcher with him. You're gonna know there's gonna be 2 or 3 things he's either gonna say, do, or don't do.
Yeah. The vice versa one.
Right. And you're going to be like, he ain't going to make it.
Yeah.
You know?
But he must have said the right. I mean, he must have done what he.
But no, when you operate out, when you show up to the business transaction with a number that you're already ready to give him, you're operating out of desperation.
Right.
And that's what I was going to continue with is it's lazy.
Right. Because the lazy thinking of which this isn't just Nebraska. there's been a lot of people, like I guess say burnt by
Texas
NIL.
A&M.
Burnt by NIL. Is that you just, the lazy thing is, okay, I got money, you're going to perform for it.
Mm-hmm.
These kids are 18 years old. They ain't
Right.
performed yet because they
Right.
always been the biggest, baddest dude out there.
Right.
Now you're going against guys that bite back.
It makes it worse, actually, in a lot of people's case.
Well, what it does
Because
is it brings out what you really
you
are.
really are.
Because if you're a true competitor,
you're gonna step up for it.
perfect example, Will Anderson down at
Yeah.
Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Did it stop him?
No.
Nick?
No.
There you
Okay,
go.
then. Don't try to get up out of here. We got to 4:30.
I'm not trying to get up.
Yeah,
out
you
here.
are. You keep cutting me off short. You see how you be doing, man? Hey,
I would never do that to my partner.
Yes, you would. Yes, you would.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh,
Come on, Jay.
Jay. But I love where you took it, because one of the things is in anything in business, right? You've got to figure out, if you're not first to market, you want to figure out how you can differentiate your
Yeah.
product from everybody else's to turn an eye towards yours to make you the shining bright,
Right.
glowing thing on the block.
And then sometimes
Literally on the block, the show.
You have got to be willing to sometimes, walk away from some guys as well.
Yeah.
You got to be willing to do it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, could you have kept the two dudes that end up playing the most, Caleb Tanner and Garrett, and then maybe been a little bit farther along with Jamari Butler, who's playing pretty dang good for the little bit he's playing right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Well, even your boy, even when like the TCU game, when Dion went up to the young man and said, "Hey, we sorry we had to pass you up, but no, they need you."
Yeah.
Man, I mean, he's the starting running back for TCU who wanted to. Yeah,
because Dion comes out after and was like, I told him that although you weren't good enough, or he didn't, he had some injury issues in the previous parts of his career, so that's why they passed him up mostly, is because there were some concerns with his health. But he's like, so maybe we didn't need him, but man, TCU needed him.
Yeah,
TCU needs him. I think part of this, also, Jay, everything you're saying, any miscommunication can be avoided with transparency and honesty. Don't go into a room telling somebody that they're worth this amount when in your head and you well know that they're worth a lesser amount.
Well, you just pay.
And I don't want to say worth lesser amount because that makes it sound harsh and cruel, but in reality, that's where we're at.
Yeah, you're paying fair market value. You got to stick to your value. I know that I was just listening to Gene Smith, and he was talking about recruits are trying to, and I get, listen, if you can get paid, I'm not hating.
No.
Okay, I'm not hating at all.
Go get it.
All I care about in college football is Nebraska getting back to be respectable and relevant again. And there's ways to do it, and it can be done rather quickly, but you got to change your thinking. You cannot, and this has nothing to do really, it does have to do with the football team, but really doesn't. Learning what it means to play at Nebraska, they don't know yet. The staff don't know. You only been here you ain't been here a year. I didn't really know till my second or third year. You better get in here and find out how to get down and like I say, get down like Charlie Brown, because that's what you're going to need it. Because when you step in there and you talking to say Eric Strickland or Jay Foreman,
we
I
got to be able to see the pic. I got to be able to see the vision.
I got to see the vision.
You guys are going to find out.
Yeah.
If they got it.
Mess around and find out. But we got to be out of here right now because you're going to mess around and find out that old school is going to get busy right after we get out of here. It is Wednesday, Hump Day Wednesday. We appreciate you for tapping in on the block today. We'll see you mañana. Nick won't be here. Austin will be back, but we will be back 2 to 4.
That quick to replace
it is
me,
all
Jay.
good. No.
That quick just move on.
He only stayed for you.
Wednesday, baby. Wednesday.
Hey, Strick, we got to talk about this little pause thing, though. You be hitting people with, though.
Facts.
Yeah, we're gonna talk after this, because you hit me with a pause a couple times.
Pause.
Yeah, but he be real authoritative with it.
Here we go. 10 seconds, Tricky.
He does like this. He hit you with the Johnny Rogers.
We out. We'll see y'all mañana. Peace.
It's not often a man wakes up and says, I feel the best I have in years. We hear this all the time at Limitless Mail, and it can happen to you when you go to Limitless Mail and get a blood test to see what your body is missing. That's how simple it is. Schedule a free consult with Limitless Mail. Discuss your symptoms. Do the blood test. If your lab results say you're low in testosterone, we can fix that. Age is just a number. you can feel your best again. Just ask Limitless Mail.
Plungers and store-bought chemicals can only go so far and can harm your drains. Call the professionals at John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electrical to get your drains flowing. We won't only make sure the clog is taken care of, but we will ensure your drains are completely clean so the clog will not come back. Give John Henry's a call today.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
And Electrical.
Something spectacular is happening at Bonsall Pool and Spa. From now until October 14th, visit the Bonsall Spooktacular sale to take advantage of this great cash and carry offer. $400 off all in-stock free-flow spas. Also, customers can take 10% off spa chemical and spa cover orders. Stop by today at 3201 Pioneers Boulevard to take home your free flow spa today. Bonsall Pool and Spa, also online at bonsallpool.com. At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just a professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family.